And now for a quick disclaimer. The T-Bone
And Chick Brew.
in the morning show is for infotainment purposes only.
The opinions expressed here do not represent
Naval Station Rhoda, the Armed Forces Network,
or the Department of Defense.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. I have a little louder, if you would be so kind. A little louder.
God, you're needy.
I am very needy. Ooh, God, I like that voice.
It's all right.
Yes, this is your. I've always wanted to do like a TomTom. So the best $17 I ever spent was when I got Homer Simpson to be my TomTom navigation voice. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, it's so fun. At the next turn right. You know, just like, hey, Homer said turn right. And I always wanted to do like a Navy version, like a Navy chief version, which I can't do here, but there would be a lot of profanity in it, you know, and instead of left and right, I'd be telling people to turn port and come to starboard.
I'm already lost. I am the world's finest Navy's worst.
But if I had a separate voice choice on my GPS, I think it would be that one. Turn right.
Blech.
At the end
You
of the
just told me to turn the volume up in the headphones to hear that.
at the end of the road, turn left. Oh yeah. I would listen to me. Who wouldn't listen to me? Oh, whatever. Don't look at me like that.
Mine would be, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Just let me drive.
I always love when you didn't follow like you going a way you know you're supposed to go, but the directions tell you go this way. At the next opportunity, turn around. You know, at the next point, turn around. She says it like 5 or 6 times, and
Make a U-turn.
yeah.
No.
My voice would be like after the 3rd time.
No, sir.
I would be yelling. Yes, using choice words.
DRB for everyone in the car. Everyone is going to mast.
You don't hear me? I said.
And then there'd be me. I'm doing what I want. I'm doing what I want.
When you get into an argument with tech, I mean, this is 2019. It is not uncommon to get in an argument with technology, not humans.
Me and Siri get into it all the time.
You do not.
Because it's on my watch, and if I hit the turn dial hard, it comes to life. And sometimes it's weird times I'm having a conversation with someone else, and she'll be like, say again? I don't understand. And I'm like, this is not about you. So then I'm just yelling into my wrist.
I think, and the
Demented Dick Tracy.
The mates, yeah, Dick Tracy. What a scam that was, right? So we're growing
You're
up.
never going to be able to talk into your watch.
No, you can. It's just that why would you? So, all right, children, listen up for a story from the old days. Dick Tracy was a cartoon character that had a 2-way communicator on his wrist. In other words, he had 2019 technology all the way back in the 60s. But what I have found out that if you have a watch that allows you to talk through your phone, that holding it up for an extended period of time is ridiculous. It's just... It's like, who would want this? Who would?
Obviously, we're doing it 2 different ways. I just yell.
Oh.
You know?
Well, I have since found out with
yelling
this watch that I don't need to hold it up like Dick Tracy used to hold up his watch right next to his mouth. But in the past, I've had cheaper watches, and I had to do that, and I did not like it at all. It was very uncomfortable after 1 minute. You know,
this is too much. This is okay. Not this. I'm making phone gestures as if I was talking to a phone versus yelling into my wrist. They're 2 very different. Oh.
I'm telling you,
his elbow with all this
our
technology.
fan base is listening this morning. Not only are they listening, they're rogering up to tell us that they're tuned in. So we're going to address all of our regular listeners as the show progresses. In case you haven't figured it out yet, it's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Dun, 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 dun. You want to know who that goes out to?
That goes out to my dad. who's also an AC/DC fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
My parents have outstanding taste in music.
Do they?
They do.
So, growing up, we had the choice of Elvis or the Beatles.
I think of the big ones in my household. I remember distinctly, my dad got a duty station change from San Diego to Newport, Rhode Island. We road tripped it.
Oh, joy.
And I distinctly remember lots of Black Crowes and Fleetwood Mac.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember once upon a time being in the bed of a pickup truck while my dad drove a long distance.
Even though you were there.
I don't know where we went or anything, but man, the 70s were different, you know? You just put your kid in the back of a pickup truck, and I'm pretty sure I had a blanket, and there may have been a tarp over me.
Were you guys crossing borders?
I'm not sure. You know, that's the good thing about being in the bed of a pickup truck. You don't really know. Yeah. Hey, man, you know, it is what
Texas,
it is.
We do that too. It's fine. It's just a Friday night.
Yeah, I remember one time in Texas, a truck hit a bump and like 6 people fell out, but it was on the highway, so
just a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It happens.
I'm pretty sure they don't allow that anymore.
No, they don't allow it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I will tell you, I had
a great conversation with my boss yesterday about what's allowed and what he did versus,
Yeah, I mean, expectations versus reality.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you the things that have flown out of the back of people's trucks while I have driven behind them on I-35.
I'm a big fan of giving public service announcements to what I call the white trash moving service, because it's not uncommon, especially in Florida, to be driving down a highway and to watch stuff that, you know, somebody's moving from one trailer to another and they didn't tie down their load.
Coolers are the worst because they have shrapnel inside them.
Well, yeah.
It's like a full-on bomb. The cooler comes out, it bounces, it opens, and then all of the contents.
Yeah, but an interesting lesson in physics is that the cooler continues in forward motion. It's one of those things like, oh my God, they just come up with a black hole. They just found a black hole in space.
I saw that.
And I'm like, no, coolers move forward when they fall out of the back of a truck.
The weirdest thing I ever saw fall off the back of a truck. You know those big moonlights that they use where they're doing construction?
Uh-huh.
Rolled right off the back of the platform truck.
Oh, nice.
I was very late to work that day.
You just said a phrase that triggered, fall off the back of a truck. That was a common phrase growing up, too.
Not how you got your TV in Jersey.
No, you didn't just get TVs. And it's a story. Cookingware.
Oh, yeah. Tupperware is a big deal.
Yeah. Anything you could possibly imagine in Brooklyn would fall off of the back of a truck.
I just saw a picture about Fast and the Furious, and they were showing the TVs that they had. They're like, this is what they were stealing in Fast and the Furious. And it makes you feel old because they're like old box tube TVs.
Yes.
I was like, well, all right. I haven't had one of those since college.
The great thing about growing old is it's better than the alternative.
It's accurate.
Yes. No one wants to die young. Well, hopefully nobody wants to die young. So,
it's too many cool things like pictures of black holes. Spent my whole day trying to figure out how it took 8 telescopes to get one photo.
So
I am not a smart human.
They got the really nice blurry close-up of what a black hole looks like, which is just absolute infinite emptiness.
It's really just a picture of my college years.
And then if you pull away, the more fascinating shot is the one that's taken like 1,000 light years away, where everything that's being consumed by the black hole is moving towards it. Now that is a fascinating photo. We got all kinds of things to talk about, science-y and normal. We're going to be talking about crime, accident, and court-martial prevention. We got it all wrapped up. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Oh, yes. It's going to be it's going to be so hard. That song is all about happiness, and we're talking about what we're going to be talking about next. It's tax season, and it's hard to be happy. Yeah. So
I haven't even done mine yet.
I
have till Monday.
Yeah.
It's the 15th. Tax day is the 15th this year.
It's always the 15th.
No, sometimes it's...
No, it's always the 15th. Hey, my brother's birthday's coming up. I remember it because it's tax day.
If it's on a weekend, it's not on the 15th.
You know what?
Use the postal
I don't want to stab you right now.
It's been on my birthday before, and that is super depressing.
You know I'm already angry. You don't
I know
want to,
you
you know, infuriate me with your corrections. So, yeah, it's tax season. Your taxes are coming due. Woohoo! Doesn't that make you feel special? There are billionaires out there
Makes me have
who love to
feelings.
go on the TV and say things like, I should be paying more in taxes. I make a bunch of money. Well, you know, you can do that. At any point in your life, Mr. Billionaire, you can donate whatever amount of your money you want to the federal government. Here you go. I'm sure you can spend this better than I can. Said no one ever. So,
Maybe. I don't know. I bought some interesting things this weekend. None of them were useful.
yeah, I'll tell you about what I bought in the next break because that's going to lead into the interview show. You're going to love this. Anyway, so we're back on the taxes thing.
Don't make me mad. Anyways, don't forget to do your taxes if you haven't done them already. It's the best savings plan you'll ever find.
Said no one ever. Taxation is theft. All right? I don't agree with the progressive tax system. I don't agree with it at all. I hate taxes. It's not that I don't. I understand. First of all, if there's any important lesson I could teach anybody in life, it would be this one thing, this one undeniable truth, if you will. Nothing from the government is free. Nothing. If you think
Your
you're
tax
getting,
dollars are paying for this show.
if you think you're getting something for free, I promise you, someone is paying for that.
You're probably actually paying for it.
Yeah. Wow. Did we eat it this year, man? It was just a big old sandwich of not happiness. Just gobble,
That's
gobble,
why I haven't
gobble.
done them. I'm afraid. Like, made adult decisions. Oh, those always get you in the end.
It's just, I mean, I understand. Everybody's got to pay their share. But, you know, how many times can you tax a single dollar? You tax it when I make it. You tax it when I spend it. You tax it when I save it.
Well, not here, right?
Huh?
Well, no, the tax is already included, so you don't have to know about it.
I-
In the States, it's the worst because they get me every time. I always forget. They're like, oh, look. I'm like, oh, $5. Great. Here's $5. Nope. They got me again every
It is
time.
one of the dumbest things you could say in Europe.
I don't like the surprise tax.
Yeah. It's one of the dumbest things you could say in Europe is like, how much is the tax? You know?
I don't like the surprise tax that I get in America. It gets me every single time.
Try living in Canada, because then they got the double. They got the PST and the GST. They like to surprise you with
Just
that
go to
one.
Montana. They have no sales tax. It's the sticker is the sticker. It's wonderful.
No sales tax.
Yep.
But they definitely have.
You also don't have the seatbelts aren't a requirement in Montana.
And they have like a no speed limit areas in
Yeah, they do.
Montana.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Montana.
Because you
is-
got to get through it quick because it's so big.
Yeah, why not? Let's buy some property in Montana. Let's do that. Let's move out there into
don't
the
know. I spent a month in
Kaczynski shack.
Montana.
And how many
wasn't-
people got that reference? The Kaczynski shack, huh? You get it?
No. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I did.
You
I
did you?
got it. All right, we're going to take a break and listen to some music before we get fired.
So I'm getting ready to do the rundown of all the people that we know are listening, and I feel like no matter how I do this, I'm going to leave somebody out. So some of our listeners actually wake up when they know we're going to be on. They wake up, they get their coffee, they sit down around the radio like the old days.
Like the old
Yeah.
days.
So that's Lee and Barbie. They're listening. So that's
Oh.
that's
Barbie has the best glasses.
and she's got such a wonderful phone voice too.
Oh, she does.
She does. She's got
She
good.
does.
She gives good phone. And then Mike there in Japan, he's listening to us. And John in Greece and Silvano in Italy.
What time is it in Japan right now?
It's in the afternoon. We're the afternoon show in Japan.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah, and
My cousin's in Japan. I'm gonna
Genevieve,
message
I
her.
believe she's listening because it's spring break and she's got nothing else to
She's
do.
probably sleeping.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
I got
that's
to
what
hang
she
out with
does.
her the other day. It was super fun. Actually, I got to hang out with
Oh, no.
Rupert.
No.
She's listening.
She's awake.
Yay!
Which means that I've now said that
And Max is listening in Jerez. I mean, these, hey, we might only have 7 regular listeners.
They're
but
dedicated,
They're
though.
in, 3 different countries on 2 different continents. And last week we had some people checking in from a continent that shall not be named, but that was cool. Yeah, so-
in a great location that has puffy tacos.
The problem with having our listeners in multiple locations around the globe is when we talk about Rotor Ride Share, really doesn't help us with our
But at
7
least
listeners.
that means when they come for a visit, they'll know how to get around.
So I had the opportunity. I was saying I don't go to the terminal to say goodbye to people. I don't do that.
You did once.
I've done it twice, actually. I did it for you, and I did it for the Pete, Katie, and his family, and the Uplingers and their family. They were all leaving on one flight, all great friends, so I had to say goodbye to them. And we had just come from the dog park, so it's me and Zeus at the air terminal, and I didn't realize how popular he would be with everyone.
Yep.
So we spent a lot of time there. But in SIG many years ago, I always went to the air terminal because, you never knew who was flying through.
Yeah.
And one of the people who flew through that day was a guy I knew from Sigonilla 10 years ago. He some weirdo was waving at me behind the security area. And I was like, hi. And I don't know what he's waving at. And then he comes out and I'm like, wow, he looks really familiar. And then he addresses me by name.
No,
and he goes off to do stuff. And I'm just processing. And he comes back. I mean, the guy's name is Dub for all. I met him as a chief select. He was a chief selectee in Sigonilla years ago, and when he introduced himself to me and he said his name was Dub, I was like, I don't want to know your nickname. Tell me your real name. And he goes, that is my real name. And I said, I don't believe you. Let me see your license. And sure enough, his family named him Dub.
D-U-B?
D-U-B.
Not a double B.
No, just D-U-B. Actually, him and Lee know each other. That's so funny. I didn't know that. Yeah. So Dub, and going back to Rotor Rideshare, those people who are here just for a couple of hours, they could use a ride.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, it's a great way to... I will randomly pick up anybody I see walking because it's such a big base.
Right. Well, I will always get people... Sometimes if it's raining and I see that there are people walking, definitely. I will go and be like, are you going to the hotel? Do you need a ride? They're dragging like 8 bags and 5 children.
Yeah. So I saw 2 older, not elderly, older people.
Your age.
Shut up. 2 older people dragging a bag, one of them carrying a crutch because, they had to use a crutch, but they had to drag their bag. So
what do you do? Leave the bag
So
behind?
I pulled over and I strike up a small conversation with them, and they were going to a big international hashing event in Poland, and they were just stopping in Rota on the way. So we had a wonderful conversation, and you have that opportunity too if you're willing to help people who need help. So it's a T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. We'll be back after this.
Yeah, that song will never end.
Yeah, it goes on for a long time, doesn't it?
Just...
Yeah. What is he saying? It isn't in my blood?
It isn't in my blood.
Oh. What is he referring to? I don't really listen.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. Anywho, let's talk about something.
Because mumble music, I think that's a good term for it. Mumble music is becoming a thing.
Yep, mumble rap, that's actually a thing.
Yeah.
That I don't understand.
And none of it. I mean, I don't listen to lyrics anymore, except for like the random country song that comes on. And I'm like, oh, I can hear what they're saying. They have a message.
Words.
Yeah. And we got stuck watching the Country Music Awards the other day.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Hosted by Reba McEntire.
Oh, I love Reba.
Who's been doing it for 16 years. A fantastic host.
She wonderful.
Really did a good job. And I'm like, I would never, what am I doing? I'm watching this. And then, the producer, she says, I think I like country music now. And that's how that worked out. So this Friday, today's Friday.
It is Friday.
That's when we come to work. It's Friday. They're having an open mic night at the La Plaza. Now this is it's a strange version of an open mic night because it's the Sexual Assault Prevention Coordinator open mic night. And I don't. You wanted to know if. Oh, is there more? You wanted to know if I would be there. I honestly, I like to know my audience.
That's probably not your.
And
audience.
I don't feel like a bunch of finger snapping ladies would be my audience. And I only say finger.
That's gonna be the people that. Are there.
No, because the girl who was advertising it yesterday was definitely talking about a lot of spoken word, and with spoken word.
I know that person, and she is awesome.
The B Square. I think that's what DJ AT was calling her, B Square.
I don't listen to the radio. It's not a secret.
So, with spoken word people come that finger snapping mentality. Oh, we're too cool to clap, so we just...
Beatniks.
Why can't I snap my fingers? What's going on?
You beatnik?
Yeah.
And they're gonna wear all black and berets. What world? What movie are you living in right now?
No, have you not been to
Yes.
like a place that does spoken word and poetry and
Yes.
Yeah, and there's always the snap. Don't tell me there isn't. I've been there. I've been through that.
Apparently not since the 50s.
Well, no. This isn't. You shut up. So. So I don't
twice
know.
you've told me to shut up today.
Well, because you're pushing my buttons.
I'm on fire.
So do you know? I mean,
You're welcome, world.
I do not believe my comedy specifically.
Absolutely is not.
My
gonna be
comedy
welcome
specifically would probably not be welcomed there. And I don't know if anyone else is doing any comedy there. If you are, sure would like to hear about it. So my friend Kevin Fitzgerald, I'm sharing this one with you because I think it's a great one. He's like, every room is an escape room if you drink too much.
there. That's why you gotta have friends with you.
We talk about that all the time, right? If you're going to drink with friends. Drinking is a team sport, and it shouldn't be done to exhaustion. It should be done to. Is there a win? I don't know if I could say win. No, you should do it. You should have fun, but at the same time, you should be responsible. Our true win is at the end of the night, everybody goes home nice, safe, and sound, and sleeps in their own bed without any problems. That's a win. That's
a win. That sounds like a good.
That's
good
a winning adult night out. Go out,
Everyone has their phones, wallets,
right?
dignity.
Purses. You know, hey, it's so, we'll talk about being a target of opportunity. And one of the three preventions we've been talking about is crime prevention, accident prevention, and court-martial prevention. We'll be talking about all three of those when we come back. But it's T-Bone and Chick in the morning. Calls in the studio, 727. Yeah, way off on that one. 727-1025 or 956-82-1025 or hit us up on any of the social media pages. I'm not distracting you.
You are distracting me.
Travaris is distracting. He's walking around here like a zombie, yawning, looking like your brother.
He does look like my brother.
That's so crazy.
God, he looks so much like my brother. And kind of like the same demeanor. Kind of like a cat.
A cat. Oh man,
Perfectly
that's the most
content on their
insulting
own.
thing I think.
I don't think so.
That's the most insulting thing I could
so.
think you could say about a man. Yeah, you act
yeah.
like a cat.
Like lions and tigers and
No,
panthers.
lions and tigers, different animals.
But then I might
A
be calling
cat.
you fat. You know
You're
what I
a
mean?
little domesticated house
say
cat. That's what you
domesticated
are.
house cat. I could-
No, but that's what you implied.
No.
But-
Anywho, yeah, you know what? He's really nice, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him because he's kind of scowly and doesn't want you really that close to him.
So
That's my brother.
we've had an opportunity to talk about the Rotor Rideshare program. If you don't know what Rotor Rideshare is, let's give you that quick reminder. Rotor Rideshare is a Facebook group set up just for you that's giving people who have rides the opportunity to help people who need rides. If you need a ride, go on Rotor Rideshare and sign up there. And if you can give a ride, go on Rotor Rideshare and sign up there. And let's help each other out. There's I'm not saying that the commercial enterprise of transporting people is a bad thing. I'm just saying if there's people going the same way that you're going, a little coordination can save you a ton of money. So Rotor Rideshare, look us up on Facebook there, and let's work together. My goal really is to get a whole bunch of people on there and then just step back from it and let that thing run itself. I look forward to the day when that happens. Hey, new idea coming up.
Uh-oh.
So
We all know what that means.
So I'm getting really good at my video blog. I'm getting real good at it. Every day, a little 5-minute vignette with a fake sponsor, a little opportunity for laughter, and me talking, just doing my positive, motivational woohoo thing I do.
Do you tell people to shut up?
No, but I will. Tomorrow is going to be brought to you by Shut Up and cats.
Mouth soap. Cats.
But,
Do you need me to send you pictures of my cat?
all of my friends that have grown up in the comedy world and have become famous, now they're all doing podcasts. And all of their podcasts are like interchangeable where one person is interviewing. So it's basically now just a bunch of famous people interviewing other famous people. And I can't get in on that because
You're not famous.
I am barely... I'm like minor league.
Well, they spent their whole lives doing it. You did some other big stuff. You know
True,
what I mean?
true. And I
So-
don't knock on any of those who have done great things. I really do.
I mean, you've done great things.
I have done great things, but in
Look
my
at
own
the
world.
heater huts.
We call them bird boxes, but that's so funny.
You've done great things. You've changed lives.
Yeah, I'm putting up a big tent too, so that's a big deal. I want to do, and I'm looking for assistance. I can't do everything by myself.
I'd like to see you try.
I could do my video blog by myself, but like here's a thing. I want to make a viral video, and I know how to do it. So I've got a dog. He's a gorgeous dog, and he likes to chase after a ball, and it's a fun time. But I also bought one of those like tennis balls that are oversized, so it's like a huge tennis ball, and I want Zeus to go get the ball. And then somebody replace his tiny ball with the giant ball, and I want to film his reaction. I think it'd be hilarious. But I can't do all that by myself. I can come up with the idea, but there's too many moving parts for me to do it alone.
Legs, time and space.
That's the same thing with the interview show, except instead of interviewing famous people, I'm just going to interview everyone. Normal people. I'm going to treat you like a celebrity and just do a one-on-one interview with you.
I will get you my. I'll send you my writer.
I think it'll be awesome. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Tell us what you think. Bye.
I have high hopes.
I'm sorry. We had such a good time talking while that song was playing. I didn't even know what the song was, and doing the interview show. Now, the interview show is actually something. Again, I want some help with. I can do it. I could do it. I imagine, but I'm looking for assistance. Like anybody who's got some videography skills. I don't know.
Videography.
Or production.
There's no pause.
So I just want to. I want to do it. I want to do people, normal, everyday people. I want to get their story. Sat down, interviewed like they are a celebrity. I think it'd be fun because I can't do celebrities because all the celebrities are being done. So I just have to do normal people, and I'm okay with doing normal people. I'm going to treat them like a celebrity. It's the interview show. What do you think?
I could go two different ways. Anywho's, now I think it's a great idea.
Okay, who am I interviewing first?
DJ, how's it going?
That would be fun.
She is a laugh riot.
Is she?
She is very funny, actually.
I didn't. Yeah, well.
Like in social settings, she gets me.
Well,
she's so dry. And the delivery is there. I'm like, what did you just say to me?
I see every once in a while she'll get a good one in on the social media pages that makes me laugh.
In person.
I need to see her more in social settings if she's that funny.
Well, if you'd ever come to a party.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. Do you?
So this one is the one that wraps up T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. So we want to make sure we cover your weekend safety brief because it's one of the things we do. We talk about crime, accident, and court-martial prevention. So crime prevention, let's talk about that. Hey, lock up your stuff. I got a new neighbor living in one of, the houses owned by the conglomerate that owns our houses. And they live in Paul's old house, actually. And they don't lock their garage. They leave their garage open. And it's not a high crime neighborhood, but the criminals that work in our neighborhood are all, opportunists. And they're just waiting to steal something from you. So I haven't introduced myself to them yet. But that first conversation is like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. You should really start locking up your stuff before they take it from you. Accident prevention. So this morning's bike drive-in, I had two bicyclists, both with bright red lights in the rear, bright white lights in the front, wearing reflective vests, and one of them had lights on his reflective vest. I just want to say, ladies and or gentlemen, whoever you are, thank you so much. I really appreciate not colliding into you because I couldn't see you. And I want to thank everybody out there that wears their reflective gear in the dark hours because I don't want to run into you either. I really believe running over a human would do something to my alignment that would cost me a lot of money and it would upset me. So I don't want to do that. So what?
You're doing great. Keep going.
Thank you.
Court-martial avoidance or whatever.
Accident, crime, and court-martial prevention.
Yes.
What is going on there? Really exfoliating that. So the court-martial prevention goes back to being responsible, right? Being an adult when you're adulting or adulting when you're being an adult. It's not getting stupid drunk and doing stupid things, not just drinking and driving, but fighting and touching people that don't want to be touched. I mean, just all those things that could lead to a court martial, we don't want you to do. So it's T-Bone and Chick Brew specializing in crime, accident, and court martial prevention. Do your best to avoid the court martial, accidents, and being a victim of crime. It's been a fantastic episode. Loved sharing ourselves with you a little bit as we do every Friday. And I say, as I always say, be the best person that you could be. And if you were a great person yesterday, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved.